Spike Lee's Highest to Lowest is a bold attempt to reimagine a cinematic masterpiece. But does it truly honor its source material? Or does it fall short in ways that leave fans scratching their heads? This remake of Akira Kurosawa's 1963 classic High and Low, a taut, morally complex crime thriller, is a mixed bag. It dazzles with Lee's signature New York energy and star power. Denzel Washington and Jeffrey Wright, yet stumbles in its attempt to modernize a story that thrived on philosophical depth. And here's where it gets controversial. While Kurosawa's original grappled with the soul-crushing weight of class divides, Lee's version seems to downplay those very tensions, leaving audiences to wonder if the film's heart is in the right place, or if it's just chasing a flashy, feel-good ending. But here's the twist. The real debate isn't just about the film's quality. It's about whether Lee's take on wealth, morality, and race in America is a fresh perspective or a missed opportunity. Let's dive in. The original High and Low was a masterclass in moral ambiguity. At its core was a simple yet devastating question. Should a wealthy man sacrifice his fortune to save a child, his own or someone else's? Kurosawa's genius lay in how he wove this dilemma into a tapestry of class, duty, and human connection. The protagonist, a shoe magnate, is forced to choose between his business empire and the life of a kidnapped child. The twist? The child isn't his. This revelation forces viewers to confront uncomfortable truths. Is wealth a privilege or a responsibility? Can a rich man justify saving a stranger's child over his own financial future? Lee's Highest to Lowest starts with promise. Set in a New York City that feels alive under his lens, the film introduces David King, Washington, a music executive battling to save his record label from AI-driven obsolescence. When a kidnapping upends his life, the story mirrors Kurosawa's structure. King must decide whether to pay a ransom that would cost him his company, or risk his son's life. But here's the part most people miss. The kidnapper accidentally takes the son of King's chauffeur, Paul Christopher, Wright. Suddenly, the moral equation shifts. Should King sacrifice his wealth for someone else's child? This is where the film falters. Kurosawa's version leaned into the cold, utilitarian calculus of the situation. The wealthy man's chauffeur is just an employee, a reminder that class divides can make even the most basic human connections feel transactional. Lee, however, softens the edges. King and Christopher's lifelong friendship dilutes the tension. Instead of a stark choice between wealth and humanity, the film becomes a story about loyalty and love. The result? A dilemma that feels less urgent, less universal. And then there's the ending. Kurosawa's third act is a masterstroke. The protagonist visits the kidnapper in prison, forcing a confrontation with the consequences of his choices. It's a haunting, open-ended moment that lingers long after the credits roll. Lee's version, however, replaces this with a jarring, upbeat music video featuring A$AP Rocky and a final song that feels like a punchline. The message? King's success is a reward for his grit and determination. But here's the rub. Does this really address the film's central themes? Or does it ignore the systemic issues that made King's wealth possible in the first place? There are moments of brilliance, of course. Washington's performance is magnetic, and the film's New York setting is a character in itself. Sweaty, chaotic, and full of life. The rap battle scene, yes, really, is a wild, unexpected highlight. But these flourishes can't mask the film's core problem. It's less a remake and more a reimagining that loses the soul of the original. So, what's the takeaway? Highest to Lowest is a film that wants to say something about class, race, and meritocracy, but it ends up saying very little. Is this a failure of ambition or a reflection of our current cultural moment? Does Lee's focus on individual triumph over systemic critique make the film a product of its time or a betrayal of its source material? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you've seen the original High and Low, how do you think Lee's version stacks up? Is it a bold reinterpretation or a missed opportunity to engage with the deeper questions Kurosawa posed? Let's start a conversation.